Hi, it's the Naked Traders. As we wait in anticipation for the markets to open today, we thought we would share some of the weekly charts we are watching and why. This week, we'll be watching the pound pairs closely. On Friday, we saw some better than expected UK manufacturing data, which meant that overseas orders for UK manufacturing have picked up in recent months. Our trade members were already positioned in this pound dollar as shown in a live trade video on Friday, and that trade was up over 160 pips that day. We also saw the pound strengthen against the euro based off the weekly chart we showed you last week. We've generally seen weakness in sterling pairs caused by the uncertainty of Brexit. However, this week could be a key week for the pound, with the topic of UK inflation back at the top of the agenda, with the release of the latest consumer price index, which is a measure of inflation. Inflation has risen sharply with a fall in the value of the pound, and if it continues to rise, then there could be a hope of an interest rate hike next year, as the Bank of England's mandate is to control inflation, and to do this means raising rates to support the pound, but at a cost to economic growth. The earliest hint of any changes to the Bank of England's monetary policy will be on Thursday, so expect some volatility this week with the pound against cross currencies. With the pound so overextended, chart studies are all the more important and technical analysis is dominant in telling us how the market may be positioned ahead of any announcements. This is a correlation between the FTSE 100 and pound sterling over the last year, showing how the FTSE has risen whilst the pound has fallen. The FTSE has been in an uptrend, but has been slowing as the pound has strengthened lately and found some support. Any type of positive news on the economy could see this climb again, but with the pound strengthening, we could see a drop to the longer term support below. Next up we have the pound AUD. This pair has been in a long-term ascending wedge and price has failed to break this long-term support on numerous attempts. Last week we saw price consolidating near the long-term key support area. We are also watching the pound CAD. This pair has had a false break to the upside in recent weeks, followed by a sharp sell-off. We may have potentially made a bottom at this long-term support, and it will be interesting to see how it reacts from here. We are also watching this pound Swissy. The pair has been in this long-term symmetrical triangle with many failed attempts to break the long-term support line on this pattern. Friday we saw another failed attempt. Remember, it's not just about planning for market direction. Timing your entry is just as important, and we excel at both. So if you would like to find out what entries we have this week, then join us today. To start making money in as little as 10 minutes a day, join us by visiting our website or downloading an app from your app store by searching for the Naked Traders.